we were going to talk about Windows 8 a little bit. That is
Windows 11.
Windows 11. Sheesh.
This is
Talk about Internet Explorer. Yeah, no, Windows 11's gotten leaked a little bit. We're expecting to see officially Windows 11 stuff pretty soon.
June 24th, I think, is their event.
Okay, so it's coming right up. But do you have any thoughts on what we've seen so far with Windows 11 leaks?
I'll describe it quickly because, people have almost the full version. There's a couple things not quite working, but I think the main difference we see, and with most browsers, is like, how does it look on your desktop? Like, what has changed there? And the main thing they've done here is cleaning up the toolbar on the bottom and centering it. And then when you hit that start menu, the start menu is now also centered, and it's pinned apps. It's all app based kind of on the top. And then at the bottom has a couple recent files, recent folders, stuff like that. So it's much different, and it very much is kind of going along the same design pattern as like Mac OS or Chrome OS, which is just center based, big app buttons. It feels like it's going more towards like almost a mobile platform.
I don't know why centering it bothers me so much.
It does. Luckily, you can go back to left align.
Okay.
For me, Windows, I'm just so used to left align, and like maybe that's the old person in me. I'm sure most people who like Windows like it.
Well, everyone's
used to it.
Every version has
it's always
been left aligned.
Always been like that as far as I can remember. And yeah, it looks weird in the middle to me, but maybe that's just me not being ready for change. I've always kind of liked that Windows felt a little more like file based and a little less user friendly. But if we're being honest, that's because we're nerds, and most people would probably enjoy this better. It's much easier. It's much cleaner. Apps are like super big and easy to see, and they're all just right in the middle. So I get it.
Yeah, to me, honestly, desktop OSs have always been, and probably always should be, pretty boring.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do my file management and I move things around and I use the programs, but the OS itself doesn't really need to do that much for me. It just needs to look good and clean and simple and work the way I intuitively expect it to. Like Mac OS versus Windows, to me, is not that exciting of a debate because I could use either. It's just like, do you move the window controls to the left or the right? Like, do you move the menu bar to the top or keep it on the window? Like, small details are sort of minimal, but at the end of the day, it's about the programs I'm running on the OS that I care way more about. So Windows 11 is cool and it's exciting, I'm sure, for some people. I heard there's a new startup sound, which is neat.
Yeah, there is one. I'm sure Adam can add that in. It's in this article we have, which I'll also post in the show notes because it has a lot of pictures. There's a photo in here with it left aligned. I do think it being back on the left side, I think it looks better than Windows 10. It's a little more compact. I like that the search bar is a button that you press and I'm assuming expands into the search bar rather than Windows 10 just had the search bar there already all the time. But I do enjoy that. There's a couple little other things. There's like some new, on the maximize button, some new ways to structure windows into pre-planned places. And
yep, that's what an OS is.
Yep. That's
simple.
Yeah, not too much. I think there's some new Xbox console stuff on here. But yeah, June 24th should be the announcement for all of it.
My favorite thing about this was Tom Warren's video where he opened up the notifications panel on the side and he took his mouse and he just slid over and just dismissed the notifications by sliding. Mac OS, Craig, take some notes, baby.
Ooh, there are
good stuff.
Two more quick things. Rounded corners, just a design change, and then widgets, which I did want to talk about. I actually thought widgets weren't really a thing anymore, but I looked it up and apparently you can do them on Windows 10. But I really think Vista just left such a sour taste in everyone's mouth that I don't know a single person that uses Windows widgets anymore. Do you remember those?
I do. I remember actually really looking forward to Windows Vista because wasn't that right after XP?
I think everyone did because it was like,
it was a pretty dramatic change.
Super dramatic change. Like
very visual.
3D.
Yeah. Because we had XP for a while and it was flat and it was opaque and we had all these like very clear, well-defined aesthetic looks, and then Vista was like this translucent, like glassy thing, and it was going to be so new and fresh and modern. And so I was really looking forward to Vista. I remember wanting a new GPU just specifically so I could have this great Vista experience. And it was all right. It was all right.
Yeah, it was like very bubbly. You felt like you were, do you know that, What's that board game with the in the middle? I think it's called Trouble, where it has like that big bubble with the dice inside it, and you press it.
Oh, God.
Like that's what the buttons, like the
Yeah.
start button, felt like on Vista. And then the widgets were just so bad. They were just all these like 3D circular, look terrible.
They've always been weird.
all
Even
over.
on Mac OS, for the longest time, you had a dashboard thing where you could just swipe in a bunch of widgets, and you just have a calculator and a weather widget and just a bunch of random widgets that you could
Be
just
great if
have.
they put that on iPad, but
Yeah, but desktop OS, keep it simple.
yeah.